Yo, what's up?
Hey, here we go again.
Episode 15, back in the bunker.
So, yeah.
To all those people who say we're cold, yeah, we're cold. We're from LA.
Yeah, I know we're LA wusses that aren't used to this.
I'm so cold. We tried setting up a heater, but it was a little too loud for the audio equipment. So we're here warming ourselves up with coffee. What's up, man? What's up, Team GrindKing? Hit that like, smash that subscribe, turn on the notification bells for all things Team GrindKing, and we're back again, a little somber.
Yeah, thanks for some of you out there that were asking about us and checking in. We're solid over here, but we've have a lot of devastation in the city that has affected some of the people we know, and it's a tough time for this city for sure.
Thanks for reaching out. We're all safe over here. And just hearts out to everybody who's going through a hard time right now.
A lot of people are going to have to figure out how to rebuild their lives. I used to have a house in that neighborhood that I lost to foreclosure. It wasn't fire, but I lost it in that Paliskates neighborhood. And I don't know if it burnt down. It might have been, that house could have burnt down. It was right near the ocean. And I kind of think a lot of soul searching this week because of all the stuff and wondering, if I had a house, I'd be, potentially I might be homeless, and it would be a lot of work to get back into just regular stuff. That there's a lot of people out here that, that they have to find a new home. They have to. How do you even go to work? Knowing this has happened. I mean, there's so much stuff to deal with. I think it's going to take years and years for LA to become back to where it was, and it may never be the same in some ways. So, we all have that compassion for those going through it for sure.
Yeah, it's rough for the Palisades right now.
Yeah, there was a skate shop there called Paliskates. My heart goes out to Erica and her crew.
And they have a GoFundMe account up, so I'll put that in the description.
They were there for years and years. Used to carry our stuff. Erica, is right in that neighborhood, right in the middle of downtown Palisades. So, I hope she gets back up and running again at some point.
For sure. Yeah, and we'll probably reach out, and hopefully there might be some type of way where we can help. But back to GrindKing. We're back to work now. Things are kind of hopefully looking up a little bit. It's hard to say that just with all the destruction and things going on.
Yeah, California, it's a great place to live for those who live here or don't. Everyone wants to. We have great weather. There's a lot of cool stuff, but there is, as in this case, we have earthquakes, fires, and really high cost of living out here. So that there's pros and cons to the living in California, and especially in LA area where there's it's just everybody before wanted to move here, but now I have a feeling a lot of people may want to either move out of here or reconsider.
There's already kind of been a mass exodus even before all this happened. I mean, it's like if the earthquakes and fires don't get you, taxes will. California's a tough place to make it.
Yeah, and in regards to like even going back to skateboarding, there's a reason why truck companies like me went to China. I was probably one of the last truck companies to go to China, to be honest. I wanted to stay made in USA. I really did try. And when I came back, I tried again. And I'll just tell you guys, it's not just the cost. The cost would be probably, I would estimate, triple. Like whatever you're paying for trucks, it would probably be almost triple now because the regulations and the just the cost of doing anything in the city is so high. So I don't think anyone would even, just to have USA made in there would pay triple.
And just the bureaucracy too, like just
and
dealing with permits and all this kind of stuff.
Well, beyond that, beyond even the paying triple, the quality is just not as good. I look at my trucks from when I made them here, and I got to be honest, the trucks in China are quite a bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but made in China is no longer a bad thing. It's like made in USA isn't as good. I mean, I'm speaking from experience, at least for trucks. I mean, there's some things that made in USA I think will always and should stay here, and it is probably better. But when it comes to making things like metal parts and plastic parts and just your everyday stuff, China has taken the lead, and I don't think we're going to get that back anytime soon.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have to face, this is a new world we live in, and you have to adapt in a way that makes sense. You can't just say, well, I'm going to make things in USA because I'm a patriot. Well, you'll probably go out of business trying, because I've tried, and it's very difficult. And the sad thing too is that I've been to China and seen it for myself. They're way more modern now. I mean, their infrastructure, everything from their just transportation systems to the factories, and the people there it's a different culture. Asia in general, they work harder. They don't. It's not like here where people are trying to. It's always like trying to work the system and try and get paid more and work less, and it's not. The culture is different. They work like, they're always working.
The world's changing.
Yeah, so I mean,
right now.
I would, study that culture and try and implement some of their practices here now. It's funny because
not all of them.
Maybe not all of them. Yeah, but they studied our culture and products and learned from it and duplicated it and maybe even improved on it. So I think it's time we do the same thing. Look at what they've done and sort of kind of bring some of that back by, observing how they do it, because they have, different ways of approaching problems and manufacturing, which I think are valid. Yeah.
For sure. You're making me nervous with that box cutter.
Well, I'm going to do something with it.
I know you're going to do something with it. You're holding it up to me. So we got another Team GrindKing member.
Yeah, going back to some more.
Go for it.
Good news here. I've got this box that this guy, Charlie is his name, but he goes, I always kind of remember him as Angle Grinder. For some reason, he keeps emailing, and he said he's going to send me this deck that he made, which I have not opened it yet. I'm going to unbox it right now.
Does this count as like ASMR?
What's that?
Those things that people do where they do sounds, and people love to hear the crazy crackling sounds or something. I guess so.
The sound of cutting shit. All right, so here, look at this.
Wow.
I already am impressed by just the...
you can hand me the box. I'll get out of the way.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not done yet.
Oh, there's still stuff in
more
there?
stuff. Yeah, I'm propping up my leg. There's a couple decks in here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So this is the first one, which looks really cool.
Whoa, what?
As the GrindKing
deck.
I mean, wow, look at the effort. And
no way.
And it's actually, this is like a decal, and there's this thing here, which is so you can hang it, I guess.
Oh, what?
Oh, wow, look at that.
No way. That's awesome.
That's sick.
That's so
That's
sick.
like an old ad he found and created a graphic on this board for. That's definitely...
Is that grindware?
And there's El GrindKing down there. Really good job. Thanks, Charlie.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Let me see that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well, here's another one.
Got two in there.
This one. This box out of here. And here's another one. Maybe, I think I'm not sure if it was, he wanted us to give one away or something, but I'll have to double check with him. But
maybe we will.
yeah, because it's like looks like the two of the same kind of graphic here, which is the original GrindKing ad, which he must have found in a magazine.
High performance G2 trucks.
Yeah, they had the ribbed rubbers. I had these rubbers they were ribbed.
That's awesome. Thanks, Charlie.
And,
Thanks, Angle Grinder.
This is back when the floating axle, the G2 trucks, and the 4-in-1 tool back. It wasn't 6-in-1 back then. It was 4-in-1. And
so do you know
plugs.
if he like custom makes these? We'll find out his information. I'll put it in the description so that we can point him out down there, because maybe he makes these for other people.
Very cool. So
gotta find out. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you.
Super sweet.
Yeah, this is really awesome.
All right. Boom. Should we update people?
Oh,
a
and
little bit?
I wanted to say something about Charlie too. Is that he knows I was into UFOs and aliens, and he actually sent me a video that he took of a UAP or UFO, whatever.
They don't even call them UFOs.
Yeah,
anymore.
well, they
We've
changed the name. They went from UFO to UAP, and now they're just calling them drones. I think that's like to make everyone calm down, because we're being visited by so many of them.
That makes me more nervous for them to be called drones.
Yeah,
that doesn't help with my anxiety, really.
They're unidentified drones.
I'd rather just call them UFOs, just make them what they are.
UFDs, unidentified flying drone.
It sounds even scarier.
Yeah. So that, So I put this out there to you all. Anyone else that has got some cool UFO videos that they've taken, send them to me, because I used to be called UFO nut, but now I'm going to say everyone else is nuts because they don't believe it, because they're out there. So
send them.
Yeah,
send him to Donald. He wants all of your UFO footage.
Yeah, because
I'm
going to do something with, like, I want to be involved with this culture as well, because ever since I was young, I was somehow thinking there's something going on with that, and now more than ever, if anyone's paying attention, Congress is having all this stuff, all these whistleblowers coming forward. It's real. It's no question whether they exist anymore. The question is, what are they doing here? That's the big question.
Yeah, people who believe in them aren't nut jobs anymore.
Yeah,
clearly.
The flat earthers are those who don't believe in UFOs nowadays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't believe in UFOs,
well,
the flat earthers?
If you don't believe in UFO, in my book, you're like, might as well be a flat earther.
You're not a flat earther, are you?
Me? No, hell no. Yeah. Earth is round, and we went to the moon.
The Earth is round. We went to the moon. Yeah. No, I believe that. Yeah, the flat Earth thing is crazy. The ice wall.
Yeah.
No, I love reading about it, though. Like I'll still read about it and see what people have to say.
Well, some people still believe it. I think still people believe we didn't go to the moon, but those are kind of things you could prove with science. You can actually look at a telescope and see some of the objects that were left on the moon.
If you go in a plane high enough, you can see the curvature of the Earth.
You could prove the curvature of the Earth pretty simply. And you could prove there's UFOs. There's too much evidence to not say that exists. So I'm sorry.
It's all out there. Some of it's AI if you're scrolling through TikTok or YouTube.
Well, there's two types of UFOs.
Yeah.
And this was quoted from this guy Ben Rich, who is this CEO of a company called Lockheed Martin, which makes the most stealth stuff, the most high-tech stuff that are flying around is probably made by Lockheed. And this guy who was the top of Lockheed said there's two types of UFOs. There's theirs and there's ours. That was his direct quote.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. The orbs and then the drones, we're using probably their technology to make ours. And then we have the other stuff where we have no idea what it is. Might not even be something that's made out of metal. Looks organic almost.
Well, I'm staying on top of this subject because I want to come out with the first real hoverboard, the anti-grav skateboard.
The anti-grav skateboard.
Yeah. So
speaking of that, what do you think? If an alien skated, what would be a setup?
Well, let's see. Well,
You could go crazy with it
definitely. I'm sure there's some planet out there that they have a similar thing, and they don't have wheels. They just float around on these boards.
Yeah. You think they earn their own grooves?
Yeah,
You think there's some hating skater aliens out there that do certain things?
well, they may be observing Earth to say like, hey, there's something to the grind. We're missing out on the grind.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're like, our grind's silent. We don't even hear it.
They don't
Use
even know what
something like
grinds are. That's
Z-rollers.
alien to them.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
our grind is an alien.
It's like, dude, that was a
technology.
sick hover in that bowl. Didn't even hear the grind.
Yep.
Should we update people on the locker?
Yeah, the locker is on schedule now, which is late, but it's supposed to be finished. The production of the first run is on January 20th. Is supposed to be done, and those trucks will be then. I made about 1,700 sets as in this first production, and of those 1,700 sets, I'm going to be receiving a total of 500. And 500 goes to Australia, and 500 goes to the distributor here in the U.S., which is, I mentioned it before, Eastern Skate, South Shore Distribution, and Ocean Avenue. Those are the three distributors besides us. I guess if you want to say we're not really as a distributor yet, but I used to be a distributor for California for our stuff. And, maybe we'll evolve to getting back to that point at some point. But for now, I suggest any shops that might be listening to contact one of those three distributors I mentioned,
In the US, and one in Australia.
JHS in Australia, because they'll be supplying shops, and we'll have the first 300, the ones that were a kick flipper. Those are going to be air shipped. So we're going to get those after January 20th. They will probably be within a week. Hopefully within a week, I'll be receiving them here. And me and Ryan will be probably getting some help as well, so we can ship those out to you guys that ordered the first 300. You'll be the first ones to get them. And you'll have them probably, my guess is at least a month to a month and a half before the general public starts to see them in stores and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, we're gonna try to get more out there and try to produce more and kind of see what happens. But we're starting slow here, just to kind of get in the rhythm. And it seems like there's a lot of energy out there where people want these trucks, and we can't wait to see you guys skate them. They're out there a little bit with some of these guys, but and thank you, Aaron, for the video he just put out.
We just saw Aaron Cairo's video, which was fun to watch. We were having fun watching all the videos. Everyone that's made a review for the trucks, we again thank you all, because it's helping us validate the product. I took a big chance with the locker, putting all these innovations in it. These are all areas that have never been done before. There's 7 innovations that haven't been done in a skate truck. So when you do that kind of radical, step forward in the technology of trucks, there's a lot of unknowns that will be more apparent once these first, test pilots really give it a good test.
Casey, Big Deck Energy, he just put out another video of him doing a drop test.
Yeah, we want to see. There was some concern over, will these base plates hold up? The trucks are really light, so are they gonna hold up? I think they will. I've done a lot of trucks in the past that were even more
holy.
Holy and had thinner places like the original axles, and they were fine. We didn't have problem with braking trucks, and I don't think we're going to have that problem now. As a matter of fact, I think in a lot of ways the locker is quite a bit stronger than other trucks. Certainly the Kingpin is, with that reinforced sleeve, that's going to be stronger. And by the way, that Kingpin is guaranteed. If you break it, it's a free replacement on the locker, because I believe it's strong enough where I can place that guarantee on that new truck. And also the base plate, I don't think that's going to break either. I would replace that if I see a broken base plate in half. I mean, stuff like that to me is.
I'd be surprised. Yeah.
But you never know. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad these testers are putting it to the good test, and don't be shy. Go big and see if you can break it. That's how progression goes. Is you've got to really push it and see what happens. I mean, hopefully there won't be any issues, but I think that there will always be room to improve it. And as I said, I'm still already working on another version down the road, which may, when it's like a car company. When you start to design something new, it takes about a year. So if I start working on, let's say, the Locker 2 now, which I am thinking about what I'm going to do, it will be probably, my guess it'll be 2026 before that new model will come out.
Yeah.
And
we got some other things to work on.
And there's some other stuff.
Meantime.
I'm actually working, just so people know, I'm working on, started working on the Thunderbird series, which is is going to be a wide truck series. That's where 10 inches and above will be Thunderbirds.
And I think we've decided we're going to go 9 and 9.5
for the locker. The next sizes. 2 locker sizes will be 9 and 9.5. Right. I think that's what the most based on the feedback we're getting. Those seem to be the sizes we need to add.
Yeah, let us know how you guys feel about that too.
Yeah.
See
if that makes sense.
I think that makes sense though. Yeah, 9, skip 9.25, just go 9.5, and then after that it's Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Thunderbirds.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
let's talk about what do you think about the state of the skate industry right now and where it's headed? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I've been watching a couple of things on like pro riders and how it's kind of done for kind of gloom and doom on some of these videos I've been watching. But I think the skate industry is it's like everything in the world right now. It seems to be, it's evolving, and during the evolving period of something, there's a lot of unknowns. It's similar to this new truck. It's like you don't know what's going to happen to the future because it's changing right now, and there's the world's changing, and skateboarding is going to have to adapt to the new world. We are adapting. I mean, I feel that that's probably one of my best strengths in this life. For me, I've always had to adapt to dramatically new situations and living life in general, and losing businesses and homes and moving and having to restart again. And so I've kind of gotten pretty good at adapting, and I think that's what the skate industry needs to do as well. It needs to kind of look at this future of how the new playground is going to be and make adjustments, which can be scary, but it also can bring new opportunities. So we're looking at how to make our moves adjust to what we think will be the future. And part of that future is, staying on top of technology. It's also trying to find ways to include the player. To me, the most important thing in my sort of evaluation and how I'm going to adjust to the future is to look at who you really are targeting. Who do I really want? Who do I really want to serve, in a sense? Be of service.
Who's our people?
Yeah.
What do they want?
In life, I think, not to get too philosophical again, but everyone should find a way to make a purpose in life that is of service to something. You need to think about yourself. It's not just about you. There's a saying, what's in it for me, right? That's an old saying. What's in it for me? People will say it, even think that, whenever you're making a transaction or something, or trying to start a business, or it tends to be the go-to attitude. What's in it for me? Well, in business, my way of looking at it, and I think this is the wise way to do it, is just, you need to think what's in it for them. This is the way that GrindKing, we want to, Ryan's now officially on board because Ryan, was helping, but now it's like, okay, we're starting to build this company again. So I'm bringing Ryan on board, and I have to, we want to be on the same page, and Ryan understands this, as well. It's like we need to think about the end user is the skater. It's you guys out there skating. What's in it for them?
Yep.
That's how we have to model our business, and that's how we are going to model it. It's not about trying to make us the heroes. It's really, we want to make you guys the heroes through the products we can bring. If we can make products.
You guys are James Bond, and we're Q.
Well, no. Well, the best way there's this book that I listen to a lot of business books because I find being an entrepreneur is it's like another art. You have to keep maneuvering, keep adjusting, and be innovative. And there's this book called Building Your Story Brand, something like that.
Oh yeah. I read that too. What was?
And this is really cool because the way to look at it is that you have this role. There's these. It's like every brand has there's this story. It's like kind of like a movie story. So the example they use, which I like, is that there's, let's say, Star Wars. Okay, so this is a playbook for almost all movies. Do this, but Star Wars is a good example because
he uses that example in the book. Actually,
everyone's probably seen Star Wars at some point. But there's the characters. Okay, so there's always a villain. Okay, in Star Wars that would be Darth Vader. He's the big villain.
Yeah.
And then there's the hero, which would be like Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the guide.
Yoda.
Yoda's the guide. So the hero cannot accomplish defeating the villain without the help of the guide. The guide is the one that makes Luke, empowers him to defeat Darth Vader. And in business, companies, the villain in a business is usually like it's the problem you're solving or something. There's always you create something to solve a problem or bring something to the table that people need because they're you've got a headache and the aspirin is the solve the problem for the headache. In skateboarding, for me it was the inverted kingpin solved the hang-ups, right? So you identify your villain, and then, but here's the problem companies make. They want to always be the Luke Skywalker. They want to be the hero. So they'll say like, we're the best, fuck the rest. or something like that. They want to be the hero, and
that might create warriors for you, but...
Well, the problem with that is that most people don't care about you being the hero. They want to be the hero. If you had to choose, you want to be the villain, hero, or the guide, most people will say, well, I want to be the hero.
Yeah.
And companies do that. They talk about how great they are. That's a big mistake.
Especially some people are like that. I like being the guide, personally.
Well, this is where I'm going, is that the thing of the new companies that want to be successful need to think of them in terms of them as being the Yoda, and they want to. You want to make your customers the hero. They're the hero, and you're going to help guide them to defeat their problems. Like, for example, hanging up with the kingpin. This is the metaphoric thing. Is that Darth Vader's got this horrible kingpin. It's like it hangs up and you fall every time. Well, here comes GrindKing, invents the inverted kingpin, and you're going to be the hero because now you get to skate without worrying about that. And so if I can create
strong with you.
Yeah.
young Cassell.
Yeah. So GrindKing, my goal is to create a truck and other products that help skaters skate better.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't spend too much time bragging about how great GrindKing is about that. It's more about, hey, no, we're doing this, and that's why we're bringing you guys in, because we want your feedback so that I can make this thing so that you guys skate better. You guys be the hero. I'm not really not that into being in front of a camera, to be honest. I like being the inventor behind the scenes. We're doing this podcast because this is, again, we're adapting to the new playing field. I used to do ads in magazines. Well, that how good would that do anymore? It would. Nobody reads magazines.
To us, this is the best way to communicate with you guys, and luckily technology is at this point, so we can have a direct face-to-face with the heroes.
And to be honest, it's much better this way. I'm learning that this is, once you get over the idea of like having to do these podcasts and putting the work into it, now I realize the value of this is that we're building community around the brand. And this is the new model for businesses. They should be looking at ways to do that, because you're not just talking about yourself all the time. Mm-hmm. You're now we're talking about, look at what skaters are bringing these cool things. This is what the result of that is. You've got this interaction with really cool people out there. And I
we're
think
not GrindKing. You guys are GrindKing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it should be.
The new GrindKing is a team. It's not.
It's gonna fall again.
It's not. We need an assistant. We need to get a robot or
we're putting that out there. If anybody knows a spare robot that can do some of this podcast work for us, we'd love to interview them.
So yeah. Anyway, but that's, not to ramble on about it, but that's kind of like how we want to progress in this skateboard industry, is to be of service of somehow to you guys out there, so that we can provide stuff that you guys help us create, and that way it's a collaboration as opposed to just pushing stuff and buy this type thing. Yeah.
And it works so much better from what I've seen so far, just in general, because it's like you come out with a product. Okay, I love this product. I'm going to put this out. People are going to love it, but you love it. And if you're acting like the hero, basically. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got to put a product out, have an idea, but then get feedback from the actual heroes. It's like you're not, you could give somebody a lightsaber, but they might want to customize it a little bit better.
Yeah, and like when I think about skaters that are really good, like pro skaters, they have to make this adjustment too, because they want to still be able to support themselves with skateboarding. So I look at it like, what can they do? Well, here's a good example. A guy used to ride for Termite, which is a kid brand I had way back in the day. One of my first Termite riders was Mitchie Brusco. And Mitchie Brusco became a pro skater, but he's, I think, seeing he needs to take a different approach than just getting sponsors. Mm-hmm. And he started Skate IQ.
Yeah,
is that Skate IQ,
which is really genuine too, because he seems like he loves what he does. So he's he shifted. He went from pro skater to now has a whole platform where he's teaching kids how to skate.
He's providing a service. Remember, I was saying, you think of it, what service can you bring to this world?
He's serving skateboarding.
He's the guide that's making the skater that he's teaching the hero.
Yep.
And so he's got it right. He's building. He's solving the problem of skateboarding can be hard to learn, and he's the Yoda guide to show skaters how to do it right, and skaters that benefit from him will maybe become really good or the next pros. So
giving back to skateboarding.
Yeah. So this is what you need to do in this world, whether it's skateboarding or anything. You need to think of, what's in it for them is the big deal. What's in it for who you're bringing products to, or services or entertainment. It doesn't matter. It's
a great framework for everything.
Yeah, it works for just about anything.
That way. Yeah, 100%.
So that's what's, I think, going on for these days in our world. And also, there was something else I wanted to. Oh, we should also talk about the next drop.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that on January 20th. We're going to be putting out the next drop. It's going to be 9 a.m. And we had a little delay just because of the fires. We were going to do it this week. We felt that we wanted to give kind of this moment in Los Angeles a little space, because we are an LA-based company. We were born here. And I put out that video on Instagram just talking about that. But now it looks like, we're obviously not out of the woods yet with all these fires. But we're at least kind of we're
It's
back
gotten
again.
It seems like it's calming down.
It's calming down.
There are some more winds coming up. You know, this is something also
It's not contained completely yet. It's like only 20% Palisades, I think, last time I looked.
Yeah, and there's still some threat, but the main part is done. Unfortunately, the part that's done is completely done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's neighborhoods that it looks like a Hiroshima nuclear bomb went off in neighborhoods that in my old neighborhood and in a lot of people's neighborhoods.
Altadena, Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So yeah, tier 3, January 20th, 10% off on this tier.
And international.
Yeah, 100 sets we're putting out. So
100
same type of
sets, yeah.
thing. Get there, 9 a.m.
And this tier will be, because it's on the 20th, and that's the day production's done. So the last, all you guys that are in those first 3 tiers will be getting that. Like I said, your trucks early, much earlier than everyone else. And we're going to do it in order, of course. So tier 1 will be the first to get it. Tier 2 will be the next, and then tier 3. But we're going to try and get those out as fast as possible.
Yep. Yeah, when you get them, do an unboxing video like we're unboxing all this
we'd love to
stuff.
see. Want to hear what everyone thinks. You know, I think that this truck will. The main thing I'm going to reiterate about this truck that I've learned so far is the idea that it's super customizable. So it's not instead of having like buying a truck and then you live with that, maybe you change the bushing. This is like literally having a bunch of trucks, because there's so many ways it rides and turns, and the fact you can adjust your wheelbase, you can adjust the bushings. It's gonna seem like you have, with just one truck, the ability to have like several trucks in terms of how it'll ride and feel.
You can change it for almost any scenario. So,
yeah, and even go beyond any truck, because other trucks can't have this wheelbase that gets wider, shifts, or gets narrower, and then the bushing configuration. All these little subtle things on a skateboard, it really makes a big difference. Skateboards are real. It's like
it's real finicky.
It's kind of like any surfboards are like that too. Like you look at them and they all kind of look the same for someone that doesn't know, but the slight little change in the thickness, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, material, everything. Surfing's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really have to be customized, especially when it comes to riding.
And same with skateboarding, I think. It's the same thing, because you've got different styles of riders, different weights, different heights of skateboarders. I was watching Aaron's video, and they were talking about the wheelbase and how a shorter person might need a smaller wheelbase than a taller person, which is kind of interesting, because I used ChatGPT to ask the question, and ChatGPT came out with this answer that was like
I saw that.
Like it was almost like the best skateboarder. I mean, like it's like the answer was very good.
Yeah,
I was impressed that ChatGPT has gotten into the mind of a skateboarder and answered in a way that wasn't just totally dorked out wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how fast that's grown, because I remember using ChatGPT when it first came out, and it was nowhere near as close as it is today. So
yeah,
it's growing and it's getting a lot better.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to mention Team GrindKing. If any of you guys know somebody who's got an empty pool in Los Angeles, I want to get these lockers tested on some pool coping, like real pool coping, like actual real empty pool. So shout out to that. I'm gonna put that out into the universe.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of vert.
Yeah, but we got somebody.
Yeah.
We got a guy we're gonna send some lockers to who rips on the vert ramp. So we're gonna be seeing kind of how they handle that kind of impact and that style of riding.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding a good vert skater sometimes is like few and far between. Who's
vert skating isn't. It's hard. Yeah, it's not as much It's not as popular as there's not as much focus on that anymore, and it's understandable, because it's harder to really find. There's more street stuff around. So
yeah, that's like my favorite style of skating, though. It's just like hard, fast, like pool riders and transition. I love watching that stuff. But now, kind of the combination of street skating with that is kind of a cool hybrid, and I feel like a lot of skaters are kind of moving, and they can skate anything these days. If you're a pro, you can probably skate any terrain.
Yeah. Most skaters that are at that level are pretty good at a lot of things. Speaking of, like, we're also in Los Angeles. It's another interesting thing is happening is we're getting ready for the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
Which will be a big deal for LA. A matter of fact, because LA got so hurt by this fire that maybe the Olympics will make people want to come back or bring some more money into the city, which it's going to need.
And it's going to be interesting Olympics this time around because it is in LA and skateboarding's in the Olympics, whether you like it or not. That's a little bit of a debate.
Yeah, that's a controversy. Some skaters think it's a it's a dumb thing to have the Olympics and it doesn't go with skateboarding. I could see that, but I also see a big advantage for skateboarding being in the Olympics because it does bring it to a mainstream level. And then there may be, again, the pros are hurting, so this
might be
kind
good
of
for the pros.
Huh?
It might be good for the pros.
It might be good for the pros because there's a lot of opportunity for getting sponsored by not just skate companies. I think that's going to be more. That's small money compared to the opportunity of getting sponsored by, let's say, an energy drink or something like that, because skateboarding will be visioned as a cool, even more of a mainstream cool thing.
Yeah.
And so the Olympics there could be some positive results, I believe, from that.
Especially this Olympics, because my whole understanding of this is that, skateboarding kind of has had, even in the Olympics, they don't really show it as like the big sport that's on there. They're usually showing track and field and swimming and those type of things. But since the Olympics are in the city where skateboarding
I think it's going to be a more powerful result for the skate community to see it in the city where it really kind of grew out of for the most part. And that being in LA is sort of like full circle of like this kind of trendy, gimmicky sport of the earlier days where it was like sidewalk surfing has now progressed into an Olympic sport.
It's amazing. Skateboarding is so young, it's like I'm only one generation removed from really the birth of it.
Yeah.
From your guys' generation. So.
Yeah. And I think it has Olympics kind of, it needed something more exciting, and skateboarding is probably one of the coolest things that the Olympics is featuring because it's a sport where, unlike surfing and snowboarding, let's say, where you need weather and waves, skateboarding is very predictable. You can build a ramp and have it just about anywhere.
I watched surfing on the Olympics, this last Olympics. Mm-hmm. It was the most boring thing I've ever watched in my entire life because for like a good hour, there was just a lull.
Yeah,
and there was no sets coming in, and it was
you're too dependent on those. Yeah. That's a great thing about the the skateboard industry as a whole is that it can go. It's all year round. Certainly people that are snowed in, aren't going to skate as much, but they have indoor parks and they also have. Somewhere in the world, it's not winter, it's summer. So skateboarding is a year-round business for the most part.
Definitely. Well, we are 43 minutes in.
I think that's good for this one.
We're going to go back to inventions.
Yeah, the next one we'll go back to some more crazy inventions. But I think
we're also going to start talking about apparel. Me and Donald actually are going to go take a trip right now.
Yeah, we're going to start making some swag, get some shirts and maybe a hoodie and some hats. We're going to start small, but my goal is to bring back some clothing that will be engineered for hardcore skaters.
Yeah, with your input, of course, the heroes of the story.
Of course,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hit that like, smash that subscribe. I don't know why I keep saying smash, but sounds good.
And send your alien movies videos to me, please.
Send all alien videos to Donald over here so that he can start to store them. And we might have to do another podcast just purely on UFOs at some point.
Yeah, well, because I think a lot of people are interested in them. I think that there's going to be more. This is the year we're going to see more focus on that. I think even the Trump administration is going to be. That's one of the things they're going to have to deal with because there's so many things happening in there. So
full disclosure.
So keep your eyes on the in the skies.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace out. Thank you very much.